Peace. What's up, fam? Kind of move the camera. Hello, peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light is Kay Clinton with Spiritual Garden Healing, and I'm here to talk about 8 postnatal emotional symptoms that mothers go through. And I don't go live often, but I am trying to get more out of my shell and go live and show my face more. So that is what I am doing. So if you're interested in the 8 postnatal emotional symptoms, this is the video for it. All right, so I'm not really good at waiting for people to come in, so I'm just going to go and allow you guys to, catch the replay. All right, so I have my notes here. So we're going to be talking about the emotional symptoms. And most people know that, childbirth has its own set of challenges, and it looks different for everyone. Each pregnancy looks different for everyone also. So if you've had multiple children, each of those pregnancies is going to hit you differently, emotionally wise. And so with these emotional symptoms comes cause and effect, meaning something is causing this effect. So say physical body changes. A mom has a baby, she's uncomfortable with her body. What is the effect to that? The effect to that is that she now lacks confidence. She's a little bit insecure within her body now. So that is cause and effect. And so I have a list of some different causes that mothers usually go through in their postpartum stages. And so we have those physical changes that I just mentioned, but also changes within our brain. Feeling different can cause many effects to our emotional being also. Hormonal changes, loss of sleep, and just a disrupted sleep pattern. We know baby's going to be waking us up. We're not sleeping the way we used to sleep. And so that sleep deprivation is also going to affect us emotionally. We're going to have mood swings. We're going to show anxiety, many things. All right. So also we have a change of role. So say you're a new mother and you're going from having no children to one child. You're like, whoa, this is something new to me. You're playing a different role, a role that you're not used to playing, and that can bring up other emotions. And then just reduce of support and social pressure. And for me, I think a big one, but not so big to other people, is poor preparation. So meaning we all know that we're going to go through some type of change emotionally when we give birth, and when we are transitioning into parenthood. But many of us don't do what we need to do to prepare for those emotions to come up, for those challenges. So when they do come up, we are equipped to handle it. So not many people are doing that. And why? Because we're so focused on the birth, the delivery, preparing for that one big moment. And then once that moment is had, we are lost on what is next. Okay. And so with all those causes I've listed, there's effects to that. So with that, you can feel anxiety, a decrease in sexual, wanting to have sex, guilt and shame, inability to cope, loss of self-confidence, a sense of isolation, and a sense of feeling powerless, feeling like you just have no control over what's going on in your life, in your current situation. Okay, so now I'm going to dive into the 8 emotional symptoms that most women deal with postnatal. So the first one is fear. And fear usually manifests into anxiety. And how do you know that? Because you're feeling easily overwhelmed. You are feeling easily overwhelmed, and the anxiety is hitting you very easily. And why is that? So usually when we're scared, scared of change, scared of what's to come, we don't even know what's to come. All these emotions bring that anxiety up. It's like, oh man, what is next? And so that anxiety comes up, and that is a form of fear. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, anger. Anger manifests into guilt and shame. And that is because we say things and we do things out of anger. And once our emotions have settled down a little bit, we realize we weren't in our right mind. It was kind of like an outer body experience. We weren't who we are, and we were saying hurtful things, and we didn't mean it. And so we're feeling shame and guilt towards that anger that we, whether we lashed out, said anything, we're feeling those emotions of that anger, and the backlash of that reaction. Okay. And then sadness. Sadness usually comes with grief. You had a loss, and you are grieving, and we can go deep into grief and the many stages of grief, and that looks different for everyone. But sadness is usually accompanied by grief. And then we have number 4, which is joy. So joy, we all want joy, intense happiness, so if you're feeling some type of joy, that's that intense happiness. And that's one of the emotional symptoms that we love and we want to come up. But it takes adjustment, and it takes time, and it takes the work to being able to have a joyful and happy life and transition into parenthood. Okay, so the next emotional symptom that we usually feel during our postnatal time is disgust. It's usually towards self, self-hate, self-loathing, really not able to look ourselves in the mirror and feel good about what we see. And a lot of this has to do with our bodies usually, getting used to a new body, a new situation. And so obviously there needs to be that self-love and self-care incorporated in your daily to deal with that. But that's a tough emotion to be going through. And a lot of moms do go through that, and they don't tell anyone. But it's really important to really have some good self-care practices that is going to help you align yourself with feeling so much better and a lot more confident. Okay, then we have loss of trust. Not feeling like we can trust anyone, feeling like, hey, if we say that we're going through this, they may take our baby, or they may do something to harm my family or something, whether that's like loss of trust to the system, loss of trust to the family, loss of trust to whoever, to society, to the community. Yes. And so, as mothers, we want to feel as if we can lean on someone, as if we trust someone. So that's a really tough emotional adjustment. Okay, so now we're on number 7. So number 7 out of the 8 is anticipation, dealing with the worry, and that's whether it's negative or positive. Worry can be on both ends, but anticipation could really take over us. So yeah, dealing with anticipation, and then surprise. And this is also something that is dealing with the negative or the positive. feeling startled, feeling as if, oh man, I wasn't prepared for this. I did not know this was going to happen. It just took me by surprise. And so those are the 8 postnatal emotional symptoms that most mothers go through. So we have fear, anger, sadness, joy, disgust, loss of trust, anticipation, and surprise. And so when dealing with those things, there are four pillars that of health that I'm going to speak on. And this is from a book that I read. I'll probably list it in the comments. I'll have to find it on my bookshelf. But these 4 pillars of health is called SPAN. And so S is for sleep, P is for purpose, A is for activity, and N is for nutrition. With this SPAN, you are able to really adjust and heal and work through these emotional adjustments as you are going through parenthood. It is definitely not easy, but there are tons of resources out there that is going to allow us to get the help that we need. And so before I end this live, I do want to say one of the biggest and most essential thing to emotions is nutrients. The way that you're eating, the way that you're being, fresh air, getting natural sunlight, all these things matter. So if you're in your postnatal stages and you are looking to adjust emotionally and you're wondering what type of nutrients do I need to have in my diet to ensure that I have a balanced diet, which is going to ensure that I have balanced emotions. So we have iron, zinc, vitamin B, vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin K, copper, and magnesium, and like trace elements and things like that. So focusing on gaining those micronutrients is really going to ensure that your emotions start to balance out after giving birth. So I know that was a lot of information in a very small amount of time, but I hope it was helpful to you. If you have any questions, we do provide free discovery calls. Book a discovery call with us. Let's chat more and let's see how we're able to support you as you're navigating birth to postpartum. It was a pleasure talking to you. I hope that you have a wonderful, peaceful, blissful day, and I will see you all soon. Peace.